I lost €3 and 4 cents on the Australian and US dollar. So here in front of me is the trade that I took. It was the 10th of December and I held the trade for about 6 days and then my stop loss got hit after 6 days and I lost €3 and 4 cents, unfortunately. And so now if we take a look at the chart, we will see what happened and why I took the trade and why I lost. So basically my balance is still €1,500 and I risked around €3, so which is roughly 0.2% of my whole portfolio. And so let's take a look. Let's take a look at the trade and the Australian USD. So here in front of me is the chart, and basically if we take a look at the daily, we have here been on this uptrend more or less, and here again we turned lower. So we turned here to the downside and then we rallied a bit from here to this resistance line now, which we are at the moment retesting. So initially we could here reach this trend line at the highs of this resistance line and maybe then continue. But this is just a short look at the Australian USD. So my trade initially was December 10th. So here at this area. So if we add some indicators real quick. Or maybe not. So pretty much we have been trading here below the 200 EMA, so we have been on this bearish move since the 11th of November, and here we pretty much traded along this trend line, but here we broke a little bit past it to reach this green resistance line here. And if we add the CCI here on the 4-hour chart, here we saw this double top at this resistance line here and pulled lower, and here was a smaller divergence on the CCI, and we started to head lower. So if you go down to the 1-hour chart and take a look at the trade here, so my entry was around here. So it was at around 20 or 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. I entered at 717.05. So 1705 was my entry. And stop loss got hit at 7228. So this was the trade that I took. Entered at around 8 p. as I said, so it should have been here somewhere after this candlestick, since we saw here a little bit of longer wicks and then we pulled lower, so it should have been after this candlestick at 71705, so somewhere around here, and the stop loss was at around 7228, so roughly around here. And if we take here the lowest point, it was in profit and even had a risk reward of more than 2.0. Could have been roughly at 2.5, almost at 2.5. And so we started to go lower, and I thought we could here go to this low again, or maybe even lower. And then we started to turn around, which could happen. So the thing that happened after that is I didn't move my stop loss to break even, which maybe I could have done it, maybe not. I'm not quite sure if it would have been a good choice to make, but somehow I still didn't. So as you can see, then the market retested here the resistance line again, and so if I had moved my stop loss by then to the break even point, I would have got thrown out of the trade here, because then we started to go lower again. But then unfortunately what happened, we broke past this resistance line, and then after that we had this lower move to this low, which would have been a trade of 1 to 3 risk reward. And now we are heading higher to the resistance line here again, but this was initially a trade that I could have won if I went for a 1 to 2 or even had a break even, but the setup wasn't too bad. It was a double top with bearish divergence, and here we had a little bit of a rejection at this resistance line, and here we had the first double top with bearish divergence on the CCI, but I didn't took the trade here, although I could have. But then I waited for a retest on the 4-hour chart, because here we had a double top with a divergence, bearish one on the 1-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart it was just one, and this is what I was looking for. And the trade and the entry wasn't actually too bad, but well, as I said, I could have took the 1 to 2 risk reward or went for a break even, but nonetheless I got stepped out. And yeah, this is how trading works. So let's see what will happen next time.